India it is in Bengaluru. The opposition unity meet decides that it will call itself India going forward. Lots of concrete decisions and action that came out of Bengaluru earlier in the day. I'm Veera Raghav. You're with Newsbreak at 7. But there's also action in Delhi, right, Sanket?
That's right, Veera. While you've got INDIA in Bengaluru, the old formation of the NDA is also swinging into action. So 26 of the united opposition against 39 of the NDA. And it is this contrast which the NDA is trying to put forward in the national capital. That if the opposition is realigning or regrouping under a new name, NDA is ever so strong with 39 members and it is actually 25 years old. So the 25th anniversary of the NDA being celebrated in the national capital.
Right, Sanket. Of course, all the action you will get unfolded in Delhi in a short while from now. But we've already seen all the action all day long. We had all the allies come out and, of course, concrete decisions. I have with me Gurdeep Sappal of the Congress as well. But before I can get Gurdeep to respond to some questions, of course, there are several questions on the road ahead to Bombay and what the key challenges are and, of course, what the big achievements are from Patna to Bengaluru. I want to toss across to a conversation I had with Sitaram Yechuri a short while ago. Let's listen to what Mr. Yechuri said and then get Gurdeep Sappal as well into this conversation on opposition unity, where the Congress is playing its role as a cohesive force in Karnataka. But is it going to be an alliance of equals? Is it going to be, how is it going to shape out? Who's going to be convener? Who's going to be head of it? All those questions we'll pose to Gurdeep in a bit. But first, Sitaram Yechuri and what he had to say a short while ago.
Joining me now is Sitaram Yechuri, who was there part of the meeting. Sir, what about core issues like West Bengal, where you are fighting Mamata Banerjee, and Kerala, where you'll be fighting Congress? Were these picked up and discussed?
Yeah, the decision was, or the understanding is, in fact not a decision, that now after this meeting, the discussions will begin at the state level.
Okay.
Well, I mean, wherever it's possible.
Okay.
There are many states where it may not be possible. But there are many states where it is possible. In some states it's already in existence. Mm-hmm. Like in Tamil Nadu, you have a single front. You have the MVA in Maharashtra. You have the Gathbandhan in Bihar. Like in many other states, there are possibilities. Mm-hmm. So the idea behind this whole thing is to maximize the pooling of anti-BJP vote. So BJP does not get the advantage of division in the opposition votes, which it has been enjoying in the last 2 terms.
All right. So in terms of going forward from Bengaluru to to Mumbai, what do you think are going to be the key challenges for this? You don't have a convener as yet. You don't have somebody at the top post as yet. Was Mrs. Gandhi's name discussed for the top post?
No. In fact, the whole atmosphere and the mood was that it will be a collective effort. Each time, last meeting was hosted by Mr. Nitish Kumar, this by the Congress, and Bombay will be hosted by the MBA. Mm-hmm. So likewise, I mean, all the constituents will be moving all over the country.
You've seen several alliances. Who's likely to play the role of a Harkishan Singh Surjit, like bringing the third front together, and then George Fernandez bringing the NDA together, and of course you had several people working towards bringing the UPA together. Who is taking the leadership role? Will it be Nitish Kumar? Will it be what kind of discussions were there?
Well, I mean, the leadership, again, I'm trying to emphasize here, even then and even now, the basic thrust and emphasis is on collective function.
Okay.
Collectively, even we all consult each other, and things happen that way. That's how that happened then also.
Any hands went up for that role?
No, I mean, it was not up for grabs not put up for grabs for anybody.
Not put up for grabs, but the Congress will play the cohesive central force role. That seems to be the message that's coming out of Bengaluru.
That Bengaluru, because they hosted it.
Okay.
I mean, Patna, it was the JDU who hosted that, or the Gathbandhan.
All right.
In Maharashtra, it will be the Vikas Aghadi.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. So the route to Bombay seems to have a lot of challenges, but yes, it will be worked out as you go along.
Challenges will always be there, but the question is to overcome that so that we can safeguard the secular democratic character of the Indian Republic.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for speaking to us.
Well, yes, the route to Bombay begins from Bengaluru. Obviously, there are some concrete decisions as well that were announced, including a 11-member core team, a central secretariat that will be made together. Obviously, the name, of course, India, the central secretariat will be held in, it will be in Delhi most likely. Of course, the question will remain on the question of convener, who's going to lead the alliance, who's going to be the face of the alliance. Gurdeep, any conversations on that in terms of who's going to be the face of alliance? Because before this meeting started, there's a lot of focus on the fact that Mrs. Sonia Gandhi was present at this meeting. A lot of people spoke about that. What were the conversations like? Were those topics broached upon, or have they been left for another day?
The entire question of convener has been raised only by media. I do not think any single participating leader ever talked about this, because these parties have come together to pose a challenge to BJP's misrule, and these are leaders who are mass leaders in their own right. Even in 2019, when there was a Modi wave in this country, these parties, 26 parties together, got more than 5 million votes more than Bharatiya Janata Party. So when they come together, like what we have written here, united we stand. So if we stand united, then we'll be able to defeat BJP. This is the core agenda. Convener or no convener was not discussed at all. This is not the agenda before these parties. Agenda is what is going to be our issues on which we are going to contest the election. What is going to be our campaign? What is the agitation that we will launch? These are the core issues around which the discussions happened.
Right, and I'll have to go across to Sanket as well, because there's a lot of action in Delhi. But quickly, one question to you, Gurdeep. If for us journalists, there are many takeaways. But as a politician, as somebody who's with the Congress party, what was your big takeaway from the meeting in Bengaluru? Was there one moment above all that defines this meeting in Bengaluru?
Yes. That this meeting showed a united face, and it was so united that the Prime Minister of India, he's rattled today. He's trying to cobble up a coalition of 38 parties. Okay. If you remember in Patna, the same person, the Prime Minister of India, said there are some parties in this coalition who do not have a single MP. Now he's trying to put up a coalition in which more than 30 parties do not have a single MP or MLA. So this is first time that we have seen the great Prime Minister of India rattled, and this is the first time that these parties are coming together on an ideological question that we stand for constitutional idea of India, not for RSS idea of India.
That's pretty much what was reflected in the joint statement which was arrived at the end of the day. But Sanket, a response to this from message from Gurdeep Sappal coming in from Delhi to you?
Yes, absolutely. One thing that one can very safely say, that the Bharatiya Janata Party must be thinking of a name or a counter to India. Some of the things that the BJP has started doing is to attack the erstwhile name called the United Progressive Alliance. In fact, there are various messages now, and a bulk of the BJP's messaging from here on will focus on how the UPA felt the need to do away with the name and come up with a new one, and contrast it with the fact that the NDA is celebrating 25 years of its existence. Now, it's another question that all key constituents of the NDA, the original NDA, are not even part of this 25th year celebration. So that is also a very important point. Like, for instance, Mamata Banerjee is not here. She's part of the India Alliance. You've got Nitish Kumar, who's not part of NDA, is part of the India Alliance. Many other players as well. We have with us Megha Prasad. Megha, it'll be very interesting to see how the BJP officially responds to this new alliance. But what are you hearing about this latest attack from the Congress and from the opposition of the NDA cobbling up 39 players, 30 of them reportedly not even having any representation? So what sort of alliance is this?
Well, that's the question that was put to the BJP president yesterday. And, you know, their version and their take, Sanket, here is that we, as the National Democratic Alliance, have withstood the test of time. 25 years is what they are celebrating. This is the 25th year of this alliance. It's one thing that those who were a part of this alliance, the bigger ones, the regional players, some of them have left, some have come back, some who quit and then made a comeback, some who've joined, in fact, one that has joined afresh today. If you were really to evaluate and analyze here, Sanket, one would have to agree that the bigger ones who were part of the NDA in the past are not here. But when it comes to the game of numbers, well, at this point in time, you do actually have 39 parties being represented inside. The pictures that I'm sure we are putting out on our screens, we see the Prime Minister sharing the dais with very many different parties. And you have, you know, when they came in the morning, when they came out, I beg your pardon, in the evening, when they came out to receive the Prime Minister, here right behind me at the porch in Ashoka, the BJP ensured that they were trying to sort of send out a symbol of being present in every part of the country, whether through their own party or by their alliance. And why am I saying that? You had the former Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu outside. You had Mr. Nefu Rio here. You had Jitan Ram Manji here. You had Mr. Shinde, the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, and Mr. Nadda. They were all standing here, to welcome the Prime Minister. With each one of them, different parts of the country was being represented. The Northeast, the West, the South, the North. And that's what this message that the BJP wants
so the
to send
optics and
across.
messaging
Yes,
spot
you've got
on.
to agree there that
This
the
has
bigger
been
ones.
if this was an optics contest, Megha, do stay on with us, Veera. Had this been an optics contest, I would say that it's a really tough one to declare a victor because you saw that happening in both these camps. From a brand new name to getting people together to on this side getting representation, and we all know that there is the BJP and then there is a little bit which contributes the NDA. However, if you look at numbers in the politics of perception, opposition's 26 versus NDA's 39.
That's right, Sanket. But also
Is that a
another
question for me,
interesting fact,
Sanket?
given the fact that you work largely on northern parts of India, and I work largely on southern political issues out here. You see, the location of the Congress meeting may be in the south, but their alliances in the south are pretty straightforward, and this is their bastion. So their tricky contests is much in the north in terms of bringing up the alliances. For the BJP, of course, alliances per se is to go beyond its heartland and its belt where it's strong. So interesting aspects that's coming out, but I think what's shaping up, Sanket, very clearly that it's a battle of alliances. We would like to play what Tol Thirumavalavan of the Vidudalai Chirutaigal Katchi told me about the genesis of the name and how the name India came about. But before that, to Gurdeep, who's still with us. Gurdeep, from UPA to NDA. UPA would have brought back memories of 10 years ago. Now, India. When you bring that out, what's the core DNA that changes, both in terms of Congress and both in terms of alliance chemistry? What's going to be the key change and the key differentiator between the two? Because when UPA was formed, Gurdeep, ultimately the Congress was also in a very difficult stage and working towards that alliance, which won in 2004. So here, what would be the key difference that you notice?
You see, UPA was formed and there was a common minimum program. Why a program? Because people were fed up with the policies of BJP. But there was largely a consensus on the idea of India, how India as a nation is constituted. But after 9 years of Modi government, this debate on how India should be is everywhere. So this alliance is completely different from UPA because this alliance is about idea of India, the basic character of India, whether will be a constitutional body or will be a exclusive country where some people have more rights than others.
Right, but that's also important because I think a lot of allies demanded that this not be the UPA same kind of structure approach from the Congress. I think a lot of allies wanted it to be different in terms of chemistry, in terms of their own position in these alliances, right?
There was no demand as such. But there were many parties who were not part of UPA, like JDU was there, like Shiv Sena was there, like Aam Aadmi Party has been formed after that. So there were several parties who were not part of UPA. So the idea emerged that let us have a new alliance which gives a new message and also clearly tells the people of India that what is at stake.
But location south, operation full north as far as this alliance is concerned, because the focus is largely north. Southern alliances are quite straightforward.
It's not about location operation, it is about India. So, Judega India. Judega Bharat, Jeetega India.
United we stand. So that's Gurdeep Sapal there. But Thirumavalavan, Tol Thirumavalavan of the Vidudalai Chirutaigal Katchi recounted for us how the name came about India, who proposed it first, what were the other names proposed on that. Sanket, if we can just listen quickly to that soundbite that he gave to us around 5 o'clock after the meeting, and then we can take the conversation forward between Delhi and Bengaluru. Obviously, a lot of things were discussed and decided. What was the key issues that came up today? You were in the meeting in Patna as well. You were here in the meeting in Bengaluru as well. What were the key issues that you picked up today? What was the difference from Patna to Bengaluru?
We have discussed about the name of the alliance. Then we have discussed Manipur issues and other state issues. All the leaders nearly about 26 parties leaders have spoke about their views. Ms. Mamata Banerjee, after Kargeji spoke, proposed the name of alliance, that INDIA. She said Indian National Democratic Inclusive Alliance. Immediately Rahulji and other leaders in the main dais agreed this name. But some leaders had some differences of opinion. Left leaders proposed We for India, the name of the alliance. Nitish Kumar said Indian main friend. He repeatedly said that IMF or IMA, like that, Indian main alliance or Indian main friend. On behalf of my party VCK, I proposed Save India Alliance or Secular India Alliance.
Okay.
Mr. Vaiko said Indian People's Alliance. Many leaders like that, different names have given in the discussions. Finally, everyone agreed that INDIA, that is Indian National Developmental Inclusive Alliance.
Okay.
So this is totally against to the Modi ideology that he is claiming that India is his India.
Welcome back. India versus NDA. Let's put this to a short discussion also. Mr. Madhu Gaur Yaski of the Congress party, former MP of the Congress, Tuhin Sinha, spokesperson of the BJP, Javed Ansari is a senior journalist, and Sanjay Singh is also a senior journalist. We have Veera with us. Nahid Lari Khan of the Samajwadi Party is also with us. Thank you very much. Veera, if you could ask Mr. Madhu Gaur Yaski a question or two.
That's right, Sanket. Madhu is, of course, Madhu can't hear what you're saying. Madhu, we had Gurdeep a short while ago. Everyone seems to be boisterous about the name India that's come out with it. What's going to be challenges for INDIA as it goes to Mumbai? You've seen the last government as an MP from Telangana. In your state, sir, there seems to be, do you expect any kind of alliance, or is it going to be a three-way fight with the BRS and BJP? Even in 2024?
Well, number one, I think the NDA partners are shattered when they heard the new alliance nomenclature comes as like in India. The idea of India is at stake, is at risk now. So that's what, as Mr. Rahul Gandhi has said it, why this fight? Whom are we fighting for? Why should we fight? Then they come up with after quite a bit of deliberations, they come up with this idea. This fight is for an idea of India, what it should stand for. India is a country of diversity, different languages, different culture. That is what the strength of India is. That has been compromised past 9 years. Well, when it comes to Telangana, we already proven the BRS, BJP are together. Each one is helping each other. So the people of Telangana wanted a change, and they've seen the corrupt government, dictatorial.
What about neighboring Andhra, TDP? Any chance of an alliance with the TDP? What's the message out there? You don't have an alliance in the key state. And I'm just pointing out, 2004 and 9, if I remember right, 2009, the victory was delivered by YSR Reddy largely with the sweep in Andhra Pradesh in 2004 and 2009. Going forward, what happens to that state of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh as far as the Congress is concerned? Will you strike an alliance there, at least in Andhra?
Well, not at this point, but like both the states, like now Telangana and Andhra, so when the people want the change, and particularly when it comes to Telangana, the people, though they have not elected us, but they have a tremendous faith and respect for Srimati Sonia Gandhi, the Congress party, because it's a Congress party delivered the state. Now people of Andhra also realized after division of the state, they can see the growth, the richness or the financial strength of both the states. And they're seeing the corrupt governance of both the states. They're looking for a change, and Congress is the best options for them. And they're looking at Congress to lead them in the next government.
Right. It will be interesting to watch how this plays out, Sanket, between Bengaluru to Mumbai. A lot of nitty-gritties will come out.
Of the BJP, we have heard the Congress very upbeat. Their 26 plus are very upbeat about this new name, a new identity, and a brand new beginning as they take on the BJP. How would you respond? I believe some reactions coming in from the BJP who are trying to build a contrast basically, that on one hand, the UPA, the old name goes, INDIA has come, and the BJP on the other hand is celebrating 25th year of NDA's existence. It's another thing that none of those original partners of the NDA are with you.
The question is to me, Sanket. Right?
Yes, Mr. Sinha, to you.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Well, they may call themselves India, but the fact is Bharat resides within us. So, beyond the temporary exhilaration that they may experience today, they will very soon face the misery which is inevitable. Now, why we are very surprised at them calling themselves INDIA or giving themselves the acronym India, is that these alliance partners, the 26 of them, they do everything that is antithetical to the idea of India. Mamata Banerjee in Bengal presides over Taliban-style violence where 50 people are killed in panchayat elections. Arvind Kejriwal, Mahatma Gandhi stood for prohibition. Arvind Kejriwal presides over the worst liquor scam where, the person next to him, his closest aide, is in jail for the last 4.5 months. And Rahul Gandhi goes across the world denigrating India's image, assaulting India's, casting aspersions over India's judiciary, India's democracy, without an iota of evidence to support himself. So these people are dangerous people. And I don't think, by adopting the acronym India, they would make any difference. Fact is that all of them represent ineptitude, all of them represent corruption, all of them represent minority appeasement, and all of them in some form represent lawlessness.
Do I sense that the BJP is again going to highlight yet another contrast, Mr. Javed Ansari and Sanjay Singh one by one, of Bharat versus India? Mr. Ansari, do you feel that the BJP, which is the champion of acronyms, of positioning, marketing, by the Congress's own admission, many leaders of the Congress said that we don't do as much marketing as the BJP. So, given this situation, do you feel that the BJP will come with a suitable response to this name?
Sanket, the BJP is a past master, especially under Prime Minister Modi. Mr. Modi's fondness for acronyms is legendary in India and abroad. But even somebody like him will be hard put to lampoon, denigrate, or try and take pot shots at this acronym. He'll be hard put to better this. Having said that, it's not just about acronyms. It's not just about names. It has the opposition grouping's message must go beyond this. They must present a narrative which is different and which is aimed at the well-being of the people of India. And then they must also, the bigger challenge will be seat adjustments. Seat adjustments from my whatever little experience I have of covering politics and elections since 1987. I've seen seat adjustments go down to the wire. But if they can, at the end of the day, get this right and put it in place, and if they can pull a rabbit out of their hat as far as their prime ministerial candidate is concerned, then who knows? The battle is on. But certainly, one thing I can say for sure is that the elections for 2024 will be a lot more livelier and a lot more fiercely contested.
Yeah, so suddenly it's become a contest.
Contested affair. See, I'm not amongst those who can predict and who believe in political astrology and can predict a winner. I know people have made their living, nominating BJP as a victor. Some of them will. I know their sleep will be disturbed here on onwards. That I know.
Okay. Sanjay Singh, do you feel that now, from a position and a time where it almost appeared, or at least BJP's own messaging was, who apart from us? Now you see a contest ahead of 2024. And there is also a lot being said about the BJP feeling the need to bring in an NDA. A 303 strong BJP feeling the need to talk about having 39 alliance partners. It's a different matter that many of these alliance partners don't have MPs or MLAs. So what will they do in your alliance? So is the BJP the one doing the heavy lifting? Mr. Singh, if you could unmute yourself, sir. Mr. Singh, we can't hear you. You're on mute. We'll come back to you. Can you hear me now?
No, yeah. I'm
please
sorry.
Carry on.
Sanket, any political party or any political formation, particularly more so the ruling party, has to be conscious that any election is a challenge. And if you're oblivious or too complacent about any challenge, howsoever strong or howsoever weak, you are not a live political party. And BJP more so, they take every election very seriously, not the, right from a municipal or panchayat election to parliamentary election to top it all. The fact the BJP, when it comes to numbers, see what opposition is highlighting. When they were boycotting parliament inauguration, they said we have 16 parties, 18 parties together, and the BJP presented 24 parties which participated in the inaugural function of new parliament. Same way, when you go to town, you talk about that we had say 16, 17 parties in Patna, and now we have 26 parties. Obviously, the politics is game of numbers. It's immaterial whether those parties have that much of strength in parliament or in Vidhan Sabha, like so many parties in now the new formation India. I'll come to that later. The fact remains that when you have to give a psychological impression of presently, this is a psychological battle before people, whereby you try and impress that we are mightier. But what is most important, that any political formation which actually challenges the incumbent, or when it is incumbent, it is going to challenge the other political party. There has
Do you
to
feel
be
that for the BJP, the need to start talking about an NDA was felt only once the opposition cobbled an alliance?
I'm coming to that. That political party has the pole position in that particular alliance. The political party also, that political party should also have capacity like a magnet to attract other political party and vote multiplier. Here in this particular case, with burial of UPA, the Congress is no longer in a pole position. Therefore, that need was to come out with a new nomenclature for this party, India. Rahul Gandhi, I think a decade ago, he used to talk about two India. One India shining, that was India, and other India was Bharat.
I want to come to you now.
They realized it became the Bharat.
Okay, Ms. Khan, how do you look at this new arrangement? You see the proof of the pudding is in its eating. I very famously quote the 2009 so-called alliance between the SP and the Congress, where the SP in 2009 elections was giving Congress 5 seats. Digvijay Singh said, no, it will be a friendly fight. Congress got more than 20 in Uttar Pradesh. They say, thank God they did not listen to you. Then in 2017, you entered in an alliance with the Congress party. We know its fortune.
Sanket ji, I would like to start by the slogan, Jeetega India, Harega NDA.
Okay.
Jeetega India, Badhega India. See, let me tell you one thing. Sanket ji, the history of 1977 is sure to be repeated, wherein the ruling party will be booted out. See, this grand alliance that has taken place, India, the grand alliance that has taken place, it's basically a public alliance. Wherever we would go, among people, they would ask us for this alliance. So it's basically a public alliance. People of India wanted this alliance. And let me tell you one thing, that the people, the party, the tall leaders that are involved in this alliance, in this grand alliance, they're mass leaders, crores and crores. Each leader has crores and crores of votes behind them. Just like Honorable Akhilesh Yadav ji, just in 2022 elections, he got 3 crore votes, and there are crores and crores of people behind him, like Nitish ji, like Mamta ji, and there are many other tall leaders in this grand alliance who have crores and crores of people behind them. And I'm sure that BJP is totally shattered by this grand alliance. BJP is not going to sleep for many, many months, because they did not expect this sort of an alliance. You are absolutely right. They're so shattered and they're frightened by this alliance that up till now they never talked about NDA. There was no discussion of NDA. Nobody could hear about NDA. And even approximately one month back, it was decided that our Grand Alliance is going to hold a meeting on 17th and 18th July in Bangalore. But suddenly, 3, 4, 5 days back, BJP also came up with their meeting in a 5-star hotel in Delhi, where five big liars of the world will must have sat and just spoken all sorts of lies. You see the BJP spokesperson, he is so shattered, that they didn't talk about their own meeting, which was held in a 5-star hotel. They didn't utter a word because they're so scared. They're so scared of the alliance.
The opposition meeting was also held in a 5-star hotel. I mean,
No. He was talking about corruption. No, BJP spokesperson was talking about corruption.
Okay.
Now BJP is the most corrupt party. He should not forget that one of its national president was caught red-handed accepting bribe worth lakhs of rupees.
okay, I've run out of time, but thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. It's suddenly, because of INDIA and NDA, the 2024 elections have become a very interesting contest. Here's to many, many months of debate and deliberation on what shape these alliances take. Stopping for a short break at this moment. After that break, we do a SWOT analysis on each of these alliances. Welcome back. So now on this program, we look at the following. What does this mean for this new alliance and the NDA alliance? What are the big opportunities for the NDA and also the big challenges? And similarly, the big opportunity which is spoken about by the new alliance and also their big challenges. In terms of numbers, where do they stand and how they will deal with these situations? Who has had a bad strike rate and who would need to improve more? Here is Akhilesh Sharma and I getting you the lowdown on these two respective alliances.
Of course, there's some tricky situation for the NDA because for example, if you look at Maharashtra, the last Lok Sabha elections, Shiv Sena was there with the BJP, and out of 48 Lok Sabha seats, they distributed 25 and 23 among each other. And now you have Ajit Pawar's faction, you have Eknath Shinde's faction. Eknath Shinde faction says that they will contest the old Shiv Sena number, which was 23. So of course, the BJP will be facing a tough challenge there because it has to accommodate NCP's Ajit Pawar faction and also Eknath Shinde faction of Shiv Sena. So this is the challenge as far as Maharashtra is concerned. Of course, another challenge is in Bihar, where now JDU is not there. In the last election, out of 40 seats, 17 were distributed between JDU and the BJP, and 6 were given to Lok Janshakti Party. This time, JDU is not there, so of course, 17 seats will remain to be distributed. But BJP wants to become a bigger party in Bihar, so that's why BJP would like to keep maximum number of seats with itself, and it will be given to other parties like Jitan Ram Majhi and Upendra Kushwaha, and of course Chirag Paswan and Pashupatinath Paras. And of course, there's a challenge to sort out the difference between the uncle and the nephew. Pashupati Paras is insisting that he would retain his Hajipur seat. He will contest from Hajipur only. On the other hand, Chirag says that he will like to contest from Hajipur. So these are the small matters which BJP has to deal with. When it comes to Uttar Pradesh, in Uttar Pradesh, of course, the last time BJP had contested on 78 and 2 seats were given to Anupriya Patel's Apna Dal party. Now you have Rajbhar's party also. I just spoke to him short while ago. He told me very clearly that he would like to have 1 or 2 seats at least to contest for the Lok Sabha elections. So all these matters have to be sorted out as far as the BJP is concerned. And as far as South India is concerned, Tamil Nadu and Kerala, BJP has already in existing arrangements with the major parties there. For example, in AIADMK in Tamil Nadu, BJP has a set formula. That formula will be repeated. And of course, in states like Jharkhand, Assam, and other states where the BJP is hoping to have new alliance partners, BJP will have to sort it out, the differences, and it has to come out with some formula to distribute the seats with the allies.
Now let's take a look at some numbers. So who's strong, who's not? We'll take 2019 as the base and look at contests and how each party performed. Now, of course, you know the real numbers, but what was the strike rate? So when the BJP and the Congress went head to head against one another, the strike rate of the BJP was 92.1% and the strike rate of the Congress party in Lok Sabha 2019 was only 7.9%. So in a direct contest, the Congress had a very, very poor showing when compared to the BJP. It was a massive score for the BJP. Let's translate this into numbers, in real numbers. So there were about 190 seats out of 543 where there was a direct Congress versus BJP contest, and the BJP had 175 track record, which means of the 303 that the BJP got, 175 were purely in a contest directly between the Congress and the BJP. They scored 175. The Congress only managed 15. So this is one performance which the Congress will have to improve. Now let's take a look at the head-to-head contest strike rate of non-Congress parties and the Bharatiya Janata Party. You see, there is a lot of talk on whether the Congress is weak. Then in that case, what about the non-Congress parties when they go fighting with the BJP? So in 2019, it appeared that their track record is definitely better than the Congress's. They got 30.8% against the BJP's 69.2%. In terms of numbers, of the 185 such seats out of 543, other parties got 57 and the BJP got 128. Now that is what was giving the opposition parties, non-Congress parties, some confidence to come together and tell the Congress party that you may want to move out because you're not performing as well. But the way the dynamics have played out, I guess all these parties do realize that Congress may form that big political glue in the opposition space to get everyone together and at least perform better in contests where there is a head-to-head strike between the BJP and the Congress parties. Now let's take a look at the head-to-head contest strike rate of non-BJP parties and the Congress. So all the non-BJP parties, in a situation like this, the Congress does slightly better. They get 52.1% as their strike rate against the non-BJP parties 47.9%. If you translate this into numbers, there are 71 such seats out of 543 where the Congress scored 37, others scored 34. Again, just to repeat, this is all based on Lok Sabha 2019 data. So the analysis over here very clearly is that the Congress strike rate against the BJP is extremely poor, at least was in 2019. We don't know how the opposition unity is going to impact this in 2024. Non-Congress parties' strike rate against the BJP was better than the Congress, and the Congress fighting non-BJP parties on 71 seats, and there the Congress's strike rate seems to be slightly better. I mean, definitely more than 50%. Now let's take a look at the head-to-head contests as far as the opposition 2024 test is concerned. The Congresses, they need to improve their strike rate against the BJP desperately. Now that is one important point. Non-Congress players will have to level up against the BJP. So they have a 30% strike rate, they have to make it or take it up to 50%. The Congress has to increase its strike rate of 8% against the BJP on 190 such seats to 50%, or definitely more than what it is right now. A strong opposition alliance on non-BJP seats, that is another thing which this opposition Ekta meeting which is happening right now will have to look at. And of course, the big question, the big question is, can it happen or not? So while the opposition is likely to name its alliance INDIA, for India versus NDA to happen, are these basics going to be sorted out or not? Let's now quickly take a look at what is being seen as a tricky triumvirate in the opposition map. So you've got these three players who have been very iffy in joining hands in a Congress-led coalition. So one was Arvind Kejriwal, the other was Mamata Banerjee, and the third is BRS's K. Chandrasekhar Rao in Telangana. So two of these three, part of the tricky triumvirate, are now with the opposition unity. Arvind Kejriwal is there, Mamata Banerjee is there. BRS, conspicuous by his absence. So these are those important questions in the various working groups of this opposition Ekta meeting that these opposition players need to work on.